अथ येनम् ऊषसु बालभेद प्रजापतिं शरणं प्रपन्नो अभुवं स त्वा प्रतिपेक्षित्येनं ब्रूयात् अथ यद्येन स्पर्शेषु बालभेद मृत्युं शरणं प्रपन्नो अभुवं स त्वा प्रतिधक्षदित्येनं ब्रूयात्. अथ and if later if anyone Upalabheda criticizes the pronunciation of the aspirates by that person, by the person who is singing enam, to this person who is singing. If anyone criticizes with regard to the pronunciation of the aspirates, then what he has to say in reply? He has to say, Prajaptam Sharanam Prabhanno Abhuvam, I am in refuge of Lord Prajapati when I am chanting or pronouncing or singing the aspirates. Therefore, he, that Lord God Prajapati, Tva, to you, Pratipekshati, will punish you by crushing you into powder. Pekshat pisna, this is crushing to powder. Iti yenam bruya, the person who has been actually criticized, that person has to tell to the criticizer who is criticizing. Iti yenam bruya. Athaydi yenam sparsheshu upalabheda. And if anyone criticizes the person who is singing, to this person who is singing, with regard to the pronouncing of the consonants, then he has to say, Mrityum Sharanam Prapanno Bhuvam. I am at the time of pronouncing or chanting or singing the consonants, I am in refuge of the Lord of Death. Therefore, I am not going to reply or giving any reasoning that why I did a mistake, oh please excuse me, nothing. He will reply to you. Satva prati dhakshati. He will then, that Lord of Death, what he will do? He will answer to you how? He will burn you into ashes. Dhakshati. That means you will die and people will take you to the cremation ground and burn you into ashes. That is the punishment given by Lord of Death. Again, I said, Kalpushraga. All is there. Dhairyam, Praschit Dhira. Dhairya. उपलक्षण क्यों? जब है आ रहा है मन. Satva pradeshiti yenam priyat. This has to be stated by the person who is singing to the person who criticized. Bhashyam. Atharyenam ushmasu tathe upalaveda prajaptim sharanam prapanno bhuvam sattva pratipekshati sanchurnayishyati iti yenam bruyat. Then if anyone criticizes this person who is singing with regard to the pronouncing or singing of the ushmasu, that is the aspirate letters, tathe upalaveda. Tathe means he will say, see, listen, what you are singing is wrong. These letters you are pronouncing very wrongly. You are singing a wrong meter and a wrong tone. If somebody comes and criticizes in such way, then what he has to reply the singer? The singer will reply that I am at present in the refuge of Lord Prajapati. Therefore, he will answer you. What he is going to answer you? When that here is telling here. Before in the previous one he did not tell. What will be the punishment? He said Indra will answer you. That's all. What he is going to do? It is not told. But here he is telling very clearly in this relation. He said Prajapati will crush you into powder. Sanchurnayishati iti enam bruyad is what he has to reply. Athedi enam sparsheshu balaveda. Similarly, if any person to this singer criticizes with regard to his pronouncing and singing of the sparsheshu, that means of the consonants, then surely he has to say, Mrityum Sharanam Prapannavam, at this present moment, I am in refuge of the Lord of Death. Therefore, he, sa means that Mrityu Devata, the Lord of Death, tva, to you, pratidhakshati. What he is going to do you? He will burn you into ashes. Bhasmi karishati iti enam bruyat. This is what the singer has to reply to the criticizer. So now, the next, he says, they are told about the deities, which type of tones we should pray from God, and which tones are related to which letters. And if you do a mistake also, the singer does any mistake, nobody can criticize there. Because we don't know, he might be doing the upasana, he might be doing these deities. And before singing, he might have meditated on the deity and then he's singing. Therefore, if any Brahmin is singing something is wrong, also you have to keep quiet at that moment. Don't tell anything at that moment. Later on you can discuss.
Previously,
which is Chakrayana. He did not tell about pronouncing. He said you should not sing without knowing the deity. Context is different. That means they don't know meditation at all. They know only karma. This is what is told them. They were very perfect in doing the karma, the rites. But they had no knowledge of upasana, of meditation. But here the person is knowing. He knows the meditation and he has done the meditation also. He's telling me, I am in refuge of that Lord. I am in shelter of that Lord. And then I am singing. That means he is just like Usti Chakra. In front of him you go means you will burn. This is what your head will be headed, there he will tell. But here his head is not going to fall down, but he will burn into ashes directly. Already due to crush into powder and all is telling. So the context is a little bit difference there. There is no meditation, only right. Here is right and meditation together going on. In that if you are trying to find a mistake, that's right. No, it's not right to do so. As the rate of head will fall down, his head will fall down. You don't take the meaning of head means ahankara. Head will fall down, his head will fall down. Here also Pekshadam, peace, his body will be crushed. His body will be burnt into ashes. Sarveswara Ghoshavanda. So how actually we have to sing then? So nobody will criticize also. No chance of criticism. For that also it is told. Which letters have to be sung how? How we have to chant or pronounce or sing. So Sarveswara Ghoshavanda Balavanda Vaktavya Indre Balam Dadaniti Sarva Ushmano Agrasta Anirasta Vivruta Vaktavya Prajapatir Atmanam Pradhaniti Sarves Prasha Leshena Anabinihita Vaktavya Mrityor Atmanam Pariharaniti. Because you have already known that these letters, the Swara, Vyanjanandar, or what are they? They are the different limbs of those deities. Before just told, Atmana, Prajapatir Atmana, Indrasya Atmana. They are the limbs of the deities. Therefore, if you sing in this way, those deities' limbs will become strong. They will become happy in the sense, they will be pleased by you, by your way of singing. If you are singing the vowels, Sarve Swaraha, all the vowels. If you are singing with what? Ghoshavanta, with resonance. Balavanta, with vigor. If it is pronounced, Vaktavyaha, should be pronounced. By that, what I will be doing? I am offering Dadani. I will be offering Balam, strength, Indra to Indra, with this idea in the mind. With the idea that I am going to offer strength to the different organs of Indra. Keeping that in the mind, we should sing all the swara, all the vowels with resonance, with vigor, with resonance and vigor. Similarly, Sarva Ushmana, all the aspects should be agrasta, carefully articulated, and anirasta, grasta and anirasta. That means grast means what actually? If we swallow, half pronouncing and half not pronouncing. That is agrasta means without being swallowed. And anirasta means without being thrown out also. बार का बार बोला ऐसे कि बार बार रह गया, सुनाई नहीं दिया किसी को भी. Nobody will be able to listen also properly. Half pronouncing or pronouncing in such a way that the word is in between two people and it not reaches the next person at all. That's called anirasta. Without being swallowed and without being thrown out. The aspiration should be vivrada, with open mouth of effort. With open mouth and effort. Vivrada vaktavya. They should be so much carefully articulated that it should not be swallowed, it should not be thrown out, and it should be sung with effort, with an open mouth. Vivrata. Vaktavya means should be pronounced. By that, what should be in your mind at that time? You should think that I am offering paridadani, I am offering in all ways myself to Prajapatehe. To Prajapatehe. Atmanam eva paridadani. I am offering myself, here is telling. There it was, you are offering strength to Indra. Here you have to feel that I am offering myself through these to Prajapati. Prajapate Atmanam eva paridadani. Pradhan means in all ways I am offering myself to the Lord Prajapati. Sarve sparshaha leshena anabhinihitaha. And all these consonants, how they should be chanted, pronounced? He said, leshena anabhinihita. Slowly, without abhinihita, without mixing them, even slightly. Without mixing them, even slightly, we have to sing or pronounce the consonants. That means gently and slowly. All the Vyanjanas, the consonants should be, especially when there are conjuncts, it's very difficult to, many conjuncts are there together, it's very difficult. 3, 4 together, then 2 with this one, the previous vowel, and 2 with the next vowel, you have to adjust and sing in a proper way so nothing will be left over or nothing will be missed. It should be in such a way chanting. Therefore he says, slowly and gently. Leshena anabhinihita. Without mixing them even slightly, we have to vaktavya should be pronounced. By that, what are you going to do? By that you have to feel that I am saving myself now. Pariharani. Atmanam mrityoho. I am saving myself from death. From the Lord, from the hands of the Lord of death. This should be the meditation or thinking or the idea in the mind while singing. Yata indradhyatmanaha swaradeya. Since these vowels etc. are the different limbs of Indra etc. Therefore, sarve swaraha, all the vowels have to be pronounced how vaktavyaha, have to be pronounced how ghoshavanto, balavanto, resonant and vigorant. Tatha aham indre balam dadani balam adadani iti. And similarly, together with this, in this way of pronouncing, at the same time, you should be thinking in the mind, the idea in the mind should be that I am offering strength to the different limbs of the Indra. Tatha, in the same way, sarvoshamano agrasta. All the aspirates should be pronounced. How? Antar apraveshita, not swallowed inside. आधा खा गया बोलते हैं ना, आधा खा गया उच्चारण कर रहे हैं, अब आधा आधा बार सुनाई दे रहा है. अंतर प्रवेशिता, नॉट swallowed. अनिरस्ता, बहिरप्रीक्षता, without being thrown out also. Vivrita means vivrita prayatnopeta. With that effort, because there is no prayatnas, there are many prayatnas, isn't it? Abhyantara and bahya prayatna in Vyakaranam. In that vivrita, samvrita, bheda, it's told, vivrita prayatna. There's a Bhashakara says vivrita means you take vivrita prayatna. In vivrita prayatna, what has been explained there? It has to be pronounced with open mouth, not closed mouth. It should be open mouth. With such effort in which your mouth will be open. In that way it has to be pronounced. Prajapati Atman Pradhani Prechani iti. At that moment you have to meditate or think or have the idea that I am offering myself to the Lord of Prajapati. Sarve sparsha leshena means shanakaihi anabhinihita. All the consonants should be pronounced such a way that in the least they should be intermixed without mixing them even the least. Anabhinikshipta. That's what it's told. Anabhinita means anabhinikshipta. One nikshipta means what? One putting on the other. Mixing up. Without mixing. Vaktavya. It should be pronounced. At that time, what should be the idea or thought in the mind? What you have to think? Vaktavya. Mrityoha atmanam balan iva shangai pariharan mrityor atmanam pariharani iti. I am saving myself from the hands of the Lord of death. Similarly, just like the people do. What? People save children. They gently keep the child, they take the child and keep it away from fire or it's falling into water well or so. If they see in such a condition, what do they do? Try to save the child. They say. Similarly here also, I am saving myself from the hands of the Lord of death. Mrityor atmanam pariharani iti. So now, all the meditations related to different parts of the rites are concluded. Finished. Now it starts all those upasana that can be done by anybody who is not performing any of the rites, or who has not got the right to do the rites. Anadhikari, karma ke anadhikari, or karmadhikari hote hue when he is not doing the karma. Karma nirapeksha upasana. These meditations are not related in any way, are not linked or connected in any way to any of the rites done by any person. Meditations non-related to rites. That will be started. For that purpose, the next thing will be a part of this second chapter is being started. So from 2.1.1 up to 2.22.5, all that is studied, most of them are related to karma only, to the rites that are enjoined by the three Vedas for especially a householder. And now, therefore, in generally, we are taking not in the order of stages of the different ashramas, brahmacharya ashrama, grahastha ashrama, vanaprastha ashram, and sannyasa ashram. Without considering those stages, the discussion will be started. To all people in general, who is going to attain what, how, and what has to be done for that purpose, all the thing will be stated now. Bhashyakara is giving a Sambandha Bhashya to relate with the non-related meditations and the related meditations with the rites. What is the relation between these? Why such a long discussion? You have done almost 2 chapters. And this is also not less. We are starting from now 2.23.1 and it will go up to 5.24.5. Complete the rest of the second chapter, the whole of the third chapter, the whole of the fourth chapter, the whole of the fifth chapter. 3.25 chapter almost. Our related meditations, which are, we are discussing meditation in this 3.25 chapters for those which are not related to any of the rites. See the intensity here, and also at the same time we have to think why so much is being pressed for meditation. When you are a householder, and that when you are being a householder, you are doing the rites, and a person is not doing rites. For all, so much has been discussed. Bhashya will tell why all those things. Omkarasya upasana vidyartham trayodharmaskandha ityadi arabhyate. Now, the meditation related to Om, only Om, and that Om is not related to a Udgita and a Sama part, or Om is not itself a Sama also as stated before. In no way it is related to anything. Purely alone, Om alone has to be meditated. For that purpose, certain injunctions are being enjoined in this Upanishad. For this reason, Trayodharmaskandha ityadi, from 2.23.1, from here onwards, we are beginning those special meditations. Now Bhashyakara says, never think so, naivam mantavyam. What? Samavai bhutasya udgita adi lakshanasya omkarasya upasanat phalam prapyate. Why you want to say it like this? Because after hearing all the previous discussions on the meditations, it may come to your mind that means without rites we can never attain any fruits. We have to perform some rite, and in that rite, what all the meditation enjoined to certain parts of the rites, we have to do that meditation. Then only we will be able to get great fruits. That thinking may happen in anybody's mind. Therefore, Bhashyakara said, Naiva Mantavya. Never think so. That only those meditations which we have discussed before, only they can give fruits. Other than these, there is no meditation at all which can give any fruit. Never think like that. Samavaya bhutasya udgitadi lakshanasya omkarasya upasanat phalam prapyate iti naivam mandavyam. By the meditation of such a omkara, Which type of Omkara? Only by meditation on Om, which is characterized by Udgitadi Lakshanasya, which is being characterized as a part of Sama. As a part. What is the part? By the name Udgita. Only that, by the meditation of such a Om only, we will be able to Phalam Prapyate, result is achievable. In this way, one should not think. Kintarri, then what? Is there any other way of attaining more higher results than this? Surely. Yet sarvairapi. What you will be able to attain with all the meditations that has been told now, greater than that result you can attain. Because all the meditations which have been discussed up to now, are related to the rights. So, meditation with rights we do. Where we will reach? At the maximum, the Swarga, the heaven, Brahmaloka. From there again, you will have to come back. And by meditation on Om alone, which is not related or enjoined to any right, by that you can attain moksha itself, liberation. Therefore he says, what all results that you will be able to attain by doing all the meditations we discussed before. More than that, you can attain by meditation on Om alone. Sarvairapi samopasani karmabhischa. Not only samopa meditations, even the karma, all karma you get, all rights you take. And if possible, do in your whole life all the rights and meditations mentioned in the Vedas, and that means up to now. What that you can aprapyam, that cannot be attained, that which cannot be attained by all these rights and all these meditations, tat phalam, that result, what is that? Amritatvam. The immortality can be attained by kevalad omkaropasnat prapyate iti. By the meditation on Om alone, that immortality can be attained, which can never be attained by all the rites and all the meditations that has been mentioned before. Tastutyartam. Then you can say, then why we are adding all those things in the Upanishads? And why Bhashyakara takes so much pains to write a Bhashya on that part also? You should have left even that. What's wrong? You have given up so many Brahmanas before. You did not explain the same Chandogya Brahman. Before this is of 4 chapters. There is a 5th, 6th and 7th one. You did not write a Bhashya on those chapters. You took only from here these chapters. So you could have omitted the first 2 chapters and explained up to this mantra. What's wrong in it? Even in Gita, you up to 2nd chapter, 10th sloka, you did not write a Bhashya. You can interpret yourself the meaning he is telling in the beginning of the Bhashya. So here also you could have said, you interpret yourself because unnecessary, why should I discuss, why should I take the pace to write a Bhashya on that? Somebody can ask that question, For that also is answer. Bhashyakara says, Tastutyartam samaprakarnitut punyasa. To praise that Om, if meditated alone, can give immortality. How you will realize this? How that meditation on Om alone can be praised? So you have to show that the Om, which is a part of a rite, that is Udgita, a part of Udgita also, or Udgita itself, or Pratihara itself, in whichever way you are meditating as Om, that Om also can give such results. Then you think, well, Om alone, what not it can give you. When Om, when it is joined with some part, related to some part of a rite, can give such great results. Then if Om we catch alone, we go into shelter of Om alone, then what it not can give us. So to create this thing, to praise meditation, Om meditation alone, we had to go into the different meditations of Om, which is related to the rites. That is why Samaprakarane, in the discussion while the discussion of Sama was going on, during that time also, Tadupanyasa, the different meditations on Om related to the different rites was introduced. So now we have to go into that home alone. For that is going to start. For that also is to give a long bhashyam. This mantras we have to take big discussion, very big discussion on this mantra before entering into the Om meditation. Because the sannyasa comes means there is a big fight between karmakandis and mimamsakas and sannyasis. Here also because the sannyasa is coming here, wherever sannyasa point comes up, there are a lot of shastra. Trayo dharmaskandha yajjo adhyanandanamiti prathamaha tapaiva dvidiyo brahmacharya acharya kulavasi tritiyo atyantam atmanam acharya kulavasādhin sarvayeti punyaloka bhavanti brahmasagumstho amritattameti. Trayo dharmaskandhaha. There are 3 divisions of rights, virtues, dharma, of virtues. Not rights, of in general you can take virtues. What are they? We are speaking of only virtues. And that those virtues which will be giving you the punyalokaha, the virtuous worlds. The first one is the grihastha ashrama. And those grihastha, the householders. You can say, Maharaj, the first ashrama is brahmacharya ashrama. Why you are omitting it? So yes, we have to omit. We are speaking now of those virtues which will take you to the virtuous worlds. Therefore, brahmacharya ashrama is meant only for studying there. That by studying the Vedas, you will not get any virtuous world at all. You have to perform the rites told in the Vedas. Therefore, a brahmacharya ashrama is not going to take you, the celibacy state, that will never take you to any virtuous world at all. It is preparing you only to perform such rites. It will create that ability, the knowledge and all, practical experience also there with the Guru. So you can, when you go into the householder life, you can do all those karma, all those rites and attain the virtuous worlds. Therefore, we are speaking of those virtues which will be giving the virtuous worlds. Thus, the omission of the celibates is right here, is reasonable. Therefore, it starts from yajna adhyanandanam iti pradamaha. The first householder stage fellow has to do 3 things. Number 1, yajna. He has to do the rites. Number 2, he should not give up the adhyana. He studied and come into householder life means now he has license to do whatever he like. It's not like that. Therefore, he says he has to do his studies continually. Abhyasa of whatever he has studied, he has to be repeating it daily so that he should not forget the Vedas. And he has to do dhanam. Dhanam here is bahirvedi dhanam. All that charity. Whatever he earns, he has to divide into 6 divisions. One for the king and the state. It's told in the Manusmriti. In that way, after dividing, one division is for charity purpose. And that one division which is for charity, that should not be used for dakshana in the yajna. That's meant, other than the yajna, if somebody has come at your door and ask you for charity, you have to give for that charity purpose. That is dhan, bahirvedi dhan. But you have to see there also, nowadays people have started to take receipt book to earn money. Jobless people, they come, they take receipt book, they say, bhandara kar raha, ye kar raha, wo kar raha, paisa do. And what they do, go to the Gurdwara also, they put half there and half into the pocket. That's mean, that many you might have seen here also coming. Daily one or weekly once or twice, surely one person will be coming with the receipt book and asking money. So, you have to see dhanam also. Iti pradamaha. The householder life. Tapaeva ditiyaha. Tapaeva ditiyaha. Now the Dvitiya is the second stage. In this stage we will take those people who have taken sannyasa ashram by stage. From brahmachari to grihastha, grihastha to vanaprastha to sannyasa. Those sannyasis. Krama sannyasis only. Not due to vairagya and all. No vairagya, nothing. Because 75 years ho gaya, therefore I am retiring and getting sannyasa. That's all. Such people, and those people who are vanaprastha also. When they were given up the world and are living in the forest and doing tapas. Vanaprastha and keval ashrama sannyasi people. They are the second. And the third is the Naishtika Brahmachari. Not only the Brahmachari. After studying, nowadays, many people take Naishtika Brahmachari. They don't know what is Naishtika Brahmachari at all. It is Naishtika Brahmachari, that celibate, who being under celibacy has studied from the Guru. In the same Guru's ashram, the rest of the life he has to be. The rest of the life he has decided, I am not going to marry, I am not going to householder, nothing. I will be under Guru Seva only, doing all the Seva and doing studies and teaching and all this. In a Gurukulam. That's why it says, you see, Achari Kulavasi. He is in the Gurukula only. After studying, he will not live in the Gurukula and go somewhere and take Naishtika Brahmachari and be somewhere Mahant and Mandaleshwara, something happening. Not that's not Naishtika Brahmachari Diksha then. Nowadays people are doing like Brahmachari Diksha and they are running somewhere else. No, he says Acharya Kulavasi. And there also what he is doing? Atyandam Atmanam Achari Kuli Avasade. There he is not eating halwa, pudi and becomes a good bull. He said, no. Atyantam, dedicating himself totally. Avasaden, Shithalikaranam, his body becomes a weak. Tapasya, total tap is doing, dedicated himself to the master through the Vedas and to tapas totally. Atyantam avasaden, Atmanam. In dedicating, Atmanam is himself totally in the Acharya Kula and also doing such a tapas by which even his body will also be lean and thin. But there is vigor and strength will be there. That means you can't walk and sit and there is a big headache to the Guru itself then. Eat that much and do seva, not become just a bull. Just a Ramakrishna Mission people say, eat like a bull, drink like a bull, work like a bull and die like a bull. They sleep like a bull and then die like a bull. And
they do work like bulls.
They do. But the last there is another edition, they don't say. And have sex like a bull. You see, why the mission is ousting people? Because of this problem. Anybody is ousted from mission, there are thousands together now, all over India, who have been ousted by the Ramakrishna Mission. They got their own small kutiyas here and there. In Rishikesh, there are more than 100 you can find. And you find out the true reason why they have been put out of the mission. Just by they went like a bull. So work says there, work is right, it's not wrong. Karma yoga is not wrong. But at the same time, it gives a sanskar of vairagya also. But there what's happening is this power poison. They are fighting for power. And a person who is in power, he is doing whatever he wants. Looking into that, others also getting spoiled. The whole thing has got upset. This is what happens in big institutions. Not properly controlled means everything is upset. Most of the essence. There is avasad is told. Eat only that much which for the body is being able to sustain for studies and seva. Nothing else. Sarvayete punyaloka bhavanti. All these three type of people will attain the virtuous worlds. The fourth one is there but Brahma Sanstho Amritatam. The person who has established himself with the Brahman, that person is going to attain immortality. The person established in Brahman is going to attain immortality. This is not Parivrajaka Sannyasi. In English, when we do when we write the meaning of this mantra such, we write Brahma Sanstha means a monk. And the Tapayeva Dvitiya, in that is a mendicant. Use the word mendicant in English. A mendicant is one who has taken ashrama, sannyasa ashrama, is having the dress and is following certain conducts, norms and rules and regulations that told for sannyasa ashrama, he is following, that's all. He is not established in Brahman. He is not in a Brahmanishta. He is not in a Brahma Sanstha. Without Brahmanishta, how he can become a Brahma Sanstha? But he He has come into sannyas ashram, therefore majburi mein Vedanta sunta hai. What to do? He has to listen something, do something. He is doing. But is trying to restore the, what you call as the respect and everything of this color. He will not do anything odd in the society. That is there in that fellow. Such persons called as mendicants. Those mendicants are taken by tapayeva dvitiya. And with Brahma Sanstha means the true Parama Sannyasi, the monk, has renounced the world totally. And is not Karma Sannyasa here. It is due to Vairagya, the renunciation of the world is there. Therefore, it is sannyasi of any, has come from any stage. What is for brahmacharyadva, grahadva, vanadva, yadeva vrajit, tadareva parivrajit. Such sannyasi are taken, who are being a true sannyasi, that means sense, and has become Brahma Sanstha. That is why such person is going to attain immortality. That sannyasi is taken by Brahma Sanstha word here. This is what will be discussion. A long discussion will be there on this Brahma Sanstha word. This word is the most important word in this mantra, and long discussion will be there. Let us see. Let's go into the Bhashyam. Trayaha means three sankhya dharmasya skandaha iva skandaha. Dharma skandaha, dharma pravibhaga ityartha. Three number are the branches of the virtues. Just like branches. Branches like branches. There is no branches of virtues anyway. If you can divide the people who are doing the virtues, people can be divided. Virtues cannot be divided also. The virtuous people are being divided. The people who are doing virtuous rights are being divided into three. Bhashya. No. Because Anagiri, on the base of Anagiri I am telling. That's all. Dharma skanda, dharma pravibhaga ityartha. The divisions of virtuous people. Kete, who are those virtuous people and what are the virtues they are doing? The first division is, you will not take the first stage. Don't tell the first stage or the first ashrama. Then it will become brahmacharya ashrama. It will be wrong. Because the brahmacharya ashrama people has no right to do yajna. And what dana he will give? From where he has got money to give dana? He is not earning. He is in a Gurukula studying. He has no income at all. Now how can he divide his income and say this is the profit of my income and that profit I am doing into 6 divisions and 1 division for charity? How you can do that? There is no income at all. There is no kosher profit. Therefore you can't take here brahmacharya ashrama. The Bhaskar will also tell you, don't take brahmacharya ashrama here. This is the first division. That's all.
So we have to give charity 1/6 of their income.
Not of the income, of the profit in the income. You see, whatever is you are getting is not complete profit. If you think the income word you are using for profit only, then the whole of the income you have to take. Then 1/6 of the income you can say. But actually what is expenditure and income you see. Your capital is there, you have invested something, you have to say that also interest of that, you have to say depreciation of the machineries and all. You have to calculate everything. And whatever money you are getting as fees for your services and all, whatever, whichever way, all that cash, deduct from that all these things. The rest, what is left over is called as profits. Income minus expenditure is equal to profit. In that profit now is divided into 6. One for your own expenses, family, children and all that. It's not one expense, that is. 2 for future of the children's and future of oneself also, for diseases, this and that. 3 for the king and taxes. It's not for that. 4 for the rights that have been enjoined to you, which you have to do daily and all the vigya and all. For that you have to get samagri, prohita, dakshana and all that. For that thing, for dharma, for the virtues. In the 5th division, I am not remembering. The 6th is for yajna, for this dana, bairdana. The 6th is for bairdana. 5th one is for something else, bhuta bali and all that. Different types of bali you have to do. That's daily offerings you have to give for the birds, for the animals, and all that is there. For that is the 5th division. To increase cows, you have to want more cow, then where you will bring money? The 1 division is meant for that. To develop your wealth according to the need. One is for that purpose. So 6 divisions are told in Manusmriti. The 6th is meant of the profit for dana. So that cannot happen in a brahmacharya ashrama. He is not earning in any way, he is not expenditure, there is no income, no business, in any way he is not getting anything, no salary also, nothing like that. Therefore, Bhashyakara will say, Prathama means not Prathama ashrama. Prathama pravivaga. That's why Bhashyakara said, Dharma skandha means what? Dharma pravivaga ityartha. We are dividing only the people who are doing virtues, who will be attaining the virtuous words. Kete itya. Who are they? Yajna Agnihotra Adihi. Yajna means those virtues are number 1, Yajna, Agnihotra Adi. Number 2, Adhyanam. What is Adhyanam? Sanyamasya Rigadira Abhyasa. According to the rules of his own shakha, he has to do daily chanting, repetition of what he has learnt in the Gurukul. He should not give up once he becomes a householder. And Dhanam is Bahirvedi, outside the place of sacrifices. Yatha Shakti, as per one's own capacity. Dravya Samya Bhago, distribution by dividing his own profits. To whom he has to give the donations? A charity. Bhikshamanebhya. Not the Ritvik Bhya. What are going to the Ritvik Dakshina? That's not. To say Bhikshamanebhya Bhashyakara says. Somebody comes and requests. You can give. And that's because according to Kali Yuga he is telling Bhikshamanebhya. Because in Satyuga, nobody was going to ask. People would go and give also. Even then they said, no, I don't want. I am young enough. Go. Satyuga he said, बुला के नहीं जाके देते हैं सतयुग में, जाकर देते हैं सतयुग में, और त्रेता में मांगत पर देते हैं त्रेता में, मांगत पर देते हैं त्रेता में, नहीं गलती हो गई, बुलाकर देते हैं त्रेता में. फर्स्ट इज यू गो एंड गिव, सेकेंड इज यू कॉल एंड गिव, एंड थर्ड इज द्वापरा. मांगत पर देते हैं द्वापर में. आफ्टर आस्किंग ओनली दे गिव इन द्वापरा. कलियुग में मांगत पर भी लात देते हैं. कलियुग है गणेश गेट आउट. So you have to see what is right, what is wrong, to whom to give. You should be doing the charity something in one way or the other, to one person or the other, to help in one way. But engaging in taking people and putting to work also is one way of doing charity only. You are not in need of work, but still you are employing people. It's one way of charity. So that's why telling you, see, yatha shakti dravisambhago bhikshamanebhyaha iti esha prathamo dharmaskandha. This is the first division of the virtuous people. Now it says, don't take brahmacharya ashrama. Here is telling you, see, grahastha samvetatvat tan nirvartakena grahastha nirdishate prathama eka ityartho dvitiya tritiya shravanat na adyartha. In the Tika, adyartha means na brahmacharya ashrama.